Hey guys, this is Kevin with Watchhimtrade.com. Today's date is May 2nd, 2015. This will be a video chart on Apple. And, before I even talk about Apple, I'm always a little nervous to do this because Apple is one of the most passionate stocks out there. And what I mean is the people that trade it, the people who invest in it, boy, do they sure have their opinions on this thing. And if you don't believe me, just go to the Apple message board on yahoo.com if you're looking for a laugh and just say something slightly negative about Apple on this thing, and you will get absolutely destroyed. Like, you will get death threats sent to you. These people are crazy. So with all that said, I have no positions in Apple. I don't trade it that often. I promise I am being as objective as possible when I look at this name. All right, all you crazy Yahoo people, so don't slit my throat for what I say, good or bad. So with that out of the way, pretty simple on Apple to me. I mean, you've just been kind of channeling since the middle part of February. We had the run up into the iWatch announcement here, typical of Apple to make good moves ahead of an announcement. Then we had the sell-off after the announcement, buy the rumor, sell the news. Apple's been doing this since they released their iPod in the early 2000s. Nothing new there. And since then, all you've been doing is consolidating in Apple in about an 8-point channel, but really a 5-point channel. I say 8-point channel because you can say that it's been between 122 and 130, or you could say it's been between 125 and 133, but I'm going to say it's been between 125 and 130 with brief moves out of that channel to the upside. In late February, you printed new all-time highs in the 133s, and then also just earlier this week, you printed new all-time highs up near 134. All right. And in early March, you went to the downside beneath 125, and then in mid-March, you went to the downside beneath 125. But on a net basis, where have you been spending time on Apple? It's been pretty clearly between the 125 and 130 area. So I think a couple things are clear. Number one, the long-term trend is so strong in this stock. It's just been the beast of the market, the beast of the NASDAQ, the unquestioned leader, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with this stock's long-term trajectory. It's just consolidating up near all-time highs, and I would bet on the trend of the last decade more than I would, any new trend developing to the downside. So that's first. Long-term looks great. Short-term, though, it's a little less clear because you did come off of this top kind of hard. You had your three biggest down days that you'd had in over a year, I believe, on Apple, dropping from 134 to 125. But you had a nice recovery day on Friday, respecting that 125 channel support, but also on Friday respecting the 130 channel resistance. So for me, it's pretty simple here. What do you get above next? Do you get above 130? And if you do, then I'm looking for a test on these all-time highs. But if you're respecting 130 resistance here and not able to push above it, then I think it makes sense that you channel back lower towards 125. As far as people looking for downside, and again, if you look at that Yahoo board, you'll find a bunch of crazy mofos that think this stock is going to zero. You got to get below 125, guys. All right, get below 125. We can go down and test these lower channel supports around 121, 122. But until you get below 125, I don't really see any type of short action here other than the potential channel short versus 130. But again, that's a channel short. It's not an aggressive short. As far as, like I said, looking for a change in trend, you got to get below 125 first, and then you need to set up a test on these lows, the March lows. And to really break things, you need to get below 120, start extending beneath these March lows, to show some confirmed weakness in the stock. And again, there just hasn't been any signs of any confirmed weakness in the stock. So to me, Apple stays solid long term as long as you're above that March low. And in the short term, got to get above 130, then we can talk about new all-time highs. But for the most part, guys, keep your cool. This stock's just kind of trading between 125, 130, not a lot going on. And, let's see where it bases above next. It's basing above 130, or or is it basing below 125? And use whichever base happens first to kind of set up your thesis moving forward. Good luck.